This morning I was just listening to the news and I was just feeling really down and quite despondent about everything that I have heard over the news yesterday and today. And I just felt overwhelmed with everybody. And I went and sat outside and I was just watching the sunrise and I was just listening to the waves breaking and seeing what a beautiful, beautiful country we live in and how beautiful our surroundings was. And I was talking to God and I said to God, why am I feeling so overwhelmed? How am I going to cope through all of this? How am I going to see the end of this happening and still stay standing because I feel so overwhelmed right now? And then God took me back to Esther 4:14, where Mordecai said to Esther, "You were created for a time such as this. It is your time now to shine. It's your time to help your people." And then God just said to me, that's exactly the same with us. We have been created for a time such as this. We have been created for what is happening in the world right now. So God knew that COVID-19 was going to take place while we are alive. So God has created us with everything that we need to be able to cope with it, to be able to make a difference in this time. And then I asked God, I said, okay, great. So we've been created for a time such as this, but how come we feel so overwhelmed? And what should we be doing about it? And then God said to me, the important thing to remember is that my identity is in Christ. All of us, our identity is in Christ. It's not about us, it's about God using us. And what does that look like? What does it look like when God says that my identity is in Him? Does that mean that I'm defeated? Not at all. Actually, the opposite. It says that I am victorious. It says that I am the crown of God's creation. It also says that I'm the head and not the tail. So right now I feel like I'm the tail and not the head because I feel so overwhelmed by everything. But actually, I've been created for a time such as this. But I need to know who I am in Christ. I need to know that the victory is mine. I need to know that everything that I need has been given to me in order to cope with what is happening. So what does that mean? It means that we are the ones who's got to arise and shine in this time because we've got the light of Christ inside of us. But how does it happen that we feel like our light is not even there anymore? It feels like our light has gone out because we're so overwhelmed by everything. How do we make sure that our light shines? How do we make sure that we actually stay close to God and make sure that we are there and valuable in this time for those around us? And then God said to me, the only way, if you look at a fire and you look at the coals in the fire, if you take a coal out of the fire, that coal will die on its own. But as long as it's with other coals, fueling it on, it will shine so brightly and it will give warmth. So our job is to make sure that we stay close to the other coals. The other coals being those people around us, other Christians around us. Make sure that we have fellowship with them via social media, even text messages, phone calls, whatever it is. But let's encourage one another and stay warm. And then, of course, be close to the source of the fire. Who's the source of the fire? God. How do we stay close to God in a time such as this? We make sure that we spend time with God. We make sure that we are the ones who sits at the feet of God, spend time in our word, spend time to allow God to touch us, to teach us, and to show us how to shine in this time. Because you know what? If we do that, we will come out stronger on the other side. And also knowing that this will not last forever. Knowing that even this shall pass. But we need to be prepared for what happens after this. Will we be stronger? We will be if we spend time with God, if we take time to sit at His feet and allow Him to teach us. So my encouragement to you today is don't give up. Know that you've been created for a time such as this, and that God has given you everything you need in order to cope with this. As long as we sit at his feet, as long as we buy out the time in our busyness to just sit with God and be there with him all the time, hearing what is it that he says he wants to do in our lives and how he wants us to react and do things. Because yes, we're doing things differently, but God's got this. So all I want to tell you is this is no surprise to God, and just be encouraged that you've been created for a time such as this. You've got it. Just stick close to God, and we all will survive this and come out strong on the other side. And we're praying for you guys. We're praying for every single child of God. But not only those, we're praying for every single person on this earth. They will get to know God in this time, and that God will use us to be those shining lights for him, that we will arise and shine, for our time has come. So be safe and be blessed. So if you want to say that, okay.